Hello everyone. In this video we are going to learn how to make forms on HTML for your website. Now what are forms? We all have filled Google Forms a lot, right? In that we put our name, our email address, all those things, and then that data get processed once it reached to the server, right? So we are going to make forms using the form tag. So we start the form tag, we end the form tag. Inside the form tag, you put whatsoever information you need and what type of information you need. For example, you want the person to enter their name. So you will write down name and then you need to provide an input box so that they get to write down their name in that input box. So for that, you need to create input. Input doesn't have an ending tag, it is empty tag. Okay, and then type of the context. So here they are typing their name, that is a text. Then we are going to put name. Now what is name? Here name is an attribute that helps the server to save this information with this name. So here I'll write down that this is the name of the person, so I'll write down the name only. Okay, for example, we want to get their email address. So I'll write down email, then input. They are inputting the type text only. And here I'm saving this with the name of mail in the server. Now it is getting saved somewhere. Someone is going to get some information out of this data. So how it is going to go? Action is where it is going to go, some php, some software, where it's going. So you will mention the url here. So action is the place where it is going to be processed, to which address you want to give this all data to. So here you mention that address. The next thing is method, like how it is going to go there. So the methods are get and post. So get method is used to send the data using this action URL only. And it is not saved. Why it's not saved? Because all the things get saved in your browser history. All the parameters got saved in the browser history. The save method is post. Post doesn't use this URL to get saved, it used HTTP to transfer there, and it doesn't save any data, so it's safe, right? Safer than the get method. So these are the two attributes of the form. So these are the two attributes of the form, that this form is going to save here, the URL that we will mention, and how it is going to transfer will tell by the method. So it's saved here and it went there using this method. In post we use HTTP protocol, hypertext transfer protocol. Now let's suppose the person wants to enter the password. So the password should not be visible, right? So person is entering their password. Again, I want to provide an input box. Here the type is password. Here the type is password and the name I'll put is password only. It gets saved in the server with the name of password, like this. So name here, email here, password here, right? And I'm going to put this form inside the pre tag. Now what is pre tag? Pre is pre-formatted. So everything that I will write down here will be as it is here. So if you will see name, email, password are one below the other, so they will be one below the other, like this. If you want space, you can provide the spaces like this. Okay. Okay, you do not need to use the break tag and everything. The way you will write down here will come to your website if you will use the pre tag. So we have learned form tag, input tag. Input tag can have a type text, number, password, all those things. Now, another way to get the data are the check boxes or the radio buttons. How to do that? So again, an input. Let's say that we want to select the subjects. Okay, so subject that they want. So I want to provide the input box. I want radio buttons here. So input type is radio. Name is, let's say the subject is maths, and here I'll write down maths. So they get subject and here they get maths here. Okay, so this is how we make the radio buttons. So here I'll change it to physics. This is also a radio button. So type is radio and the subject is physics. Like that, subject, maths, physics. And the person can choose the radio button. Okay, same is for the check boxes. If you want check boxes, instead of radio buttons, you will write check boxes. Checkbox. This is also checkbox. So you can choose one radio button at a time, either this or this, but checkbox you can choose both. Checkbox you can choose as many checkboxes, but radio button is like one at a time. Okay, next is, so we have seen input boxes. We have seen if I'm writing the name here, my email address, my password. You can see the password is now the stars here, the dots here, the radio buttons, the check boxes, right? What next? A drop down. How to make a drop down? Let's see that. Let's say the person have to choose the day, like Sunday, Monday, all those things. So how to make that? So here we use select tag. So we start the select tag, we end the select tag, in between press enter. Now here I provide the options using the option tag. So this is the option tag inside the select tag. And the first option that I will provide is Monday, and it will be selected by default. So for that I'll use selected. And what's the value? Value is, let's say I'll write down Monday. Now the another option I want to give is Tuesday. It's not selected by default because by default only one value will be selected, right? So it will be Tuesday. Here also I'll write down Tuesday. Next option, Wednesday in the list. So this is Wednesday. This is also Wednesday. So you can see by default in the drop down you can see only one value, and Monday is selected because I have written selected here in the option of it. So if you want, let's say 3 values in the list by default, let me change it to Thursday, and Friday. So now these are my options. So by default only one is open and these are all the options. So I will change that I want 3 options to be open in the drop down. So size that I want is 3. So now you will see in your drop down 3 values would be there and Monday would be selected, because here I have written selected for the Monday. Next is how this drop down is saved in the server. So I'll have to provide the name. Let's say I provide the name days. And if I want to choose multiple value in this, so I will use an attribute that is multiple. Okay, so this is how we form the form. So this is for input box having a text. This is also a text. This is a password, so this would not be visible. These are the radio buttons. These are the check boxes, and this is the drop down. How do we make drop down? Using select tag. In the select tag, we put the options, all the options that I want here. If I will mention the size 5, so you will see 5 items here in the drop down. If you will put 2, you will see 2 by default, and for rest of them you will see a scroll bar here. Okay, you will see a scroll bar here. So this is how we make the form. Check this out, practice it. So we have learned form tag, input tag, select tag, all these things, option tag, pre tag. So just practice these tags one by one. See what you didn't get, ask me in the comment section, but practice a lot. After every video I am saying practice, otherwise you will end up just doing the rote learning. Thank you, and we'll meet in the next video.